there. Go down here and get the correct hardware for real motorcycles. So you get 3/8 bolts. These are the adapters that allow you to work on a panhead on a different motor. Each motor has different hole patterns over here to use. You have to do it in the right pair or you get confused. I think I'm getting confused. That's got to be right. It's the first set of panheads this year.
Well, it's only January. You're good.
That doesn't sound as good though.
That's true.
Yeah, but did I do any last year though? That's the thing.
I don't know.
Me either. Okay, there's the adapters. Now, these can sit down on top of here. Like that. Get all these nuts here, washers, not the chip stuff. Get rid of the stupid twin cam Evo stuff up here.
So what's a new cylinder head cost for a twin cam?
I don't know.
I'm just saying. I mean, that was a no-brainer. Just buy a new cylinder head.
Yeah. I don't know, from Harley they're probably 300 to 500.
Well, brand new though.
Yeah.
Come with valves?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Well,
That's extra.
all right. You ready to go?
I'm gonna let you work, you know.
Get out of here.
Let him work because we just.
I know he wants to get something done. Tatro, I got you on record here.
Alright.
All right, my friend.
Nice talking to you. See you soon.
Alright, see you later.
You all right? Everything good? You need anything?
I haven't died yet, so I'm okay.
All right. All right.
I'm saving that for next week.
You won't be here till one Friday.
I'll be gone Friday. Yeah.
Okay, you'll be gone Friday. Okay. I gotta get out of here. See you, Keenan.
Hey, tell them to quit throwing the ball at the door.
You what?
Tell them to quit throwing the ball at the door.
Okay.
Kids are out there playing too hard. Alright, finally get all the hardware into there. That's a pain in the butt doing all that. Let's see, if I put the camera right over here, probably won't see anything. Yeah, bad view. You get closer, it'll be in my way though. I'll make it closer. No, it's in my way. Maybe I can do an elbow job and knock it off. Okay, I got these all up on there. So I had to put all these nuts and stuff on here to hold the heads up on the plate. So they go over there like that. So usually we do the exhaust first. Now we got to get an appropriate pilot up there. Usually it's one of those. Let's try second down 3/8, see how that works. I don't know what sizes they are, so until you put one in, you don't know. Obviously that's not the right size. So we have to go up here and get a different one. Hope this one fits because it's the smallest one I got. It's a little bit too big. That one's a little better. So those are barely going in the load. Put the level on here. Shows you how level it is. So you got two planes of adjustment. First one's that one. Alright. Machine doesn't want to move. Check this one over here, see how far off it is. It's way the hell off, so we'll have to change it from one head to the other. Okay, now I'm going to rotate this around until it levels out this other direction. Alright, gets that one level. Okay, that one looks pretty good. This one over here, we do the same thing with this one. So I'm working on the wrong side of the head. Okay, we got that straight in that plane. It's off in this plane though, so we'll have to readjust this before we do it. On these older heads, the guys are hardly ever lined up very close. On new stuff, they are so. Alright, so we got that centered. So now we're ready to cut this one. Slide this back in a little bit. Doesn't want to move. Wipe the table off. Okay. The regulator's starting to take a crap again. You gotta make sure you got enough room for adjustment. Okay, now I gotta go over here and set the valve diameter. That's always fun to do. So it's done right here. Okay, we're on the exhaust valve, so we take an exhaust valve, stick it in our holding tool, and we have to adjust it for the point on the tip of the valve. But you have no idea what I'm doing because you can't see. So you put that where you want it to be. And you take a pilot, same size. You take your exhaust cutting tool, which is this one. There's multiple angles on it, so these are the angles it's going to cut, so all these right through here. So you're not doing one angle or two angles, there's three angles in there and a couple radiuses and some other junk. So we have to put the pointer, goes right on the top of the valve cut. See it, you have to look on here to see where that actually is. And line up your pointer. That's how you set your diameter for your seat. This one's way the hell off. So this is probably an Evo I did. Or a twin cam, probably a twin cam, it's really dinky. You gotta make sure you got the right cutter. Got a 60 thou width on there, that's a number. So they make these in different angles. And this is not the right one either. Alright, so we'll line that right up on the point we want it to be at. Alright, let's show you what we're doing over here. So see how the pointer's right on the cutter there? So that should be right on the point where I want it to be. And I had the pointer right on the edge of the valve over here. So it gives me my diameter where I want the seat to be. So it's not quite on the outside edge, but it's about where my thumb is, just on the inside of it. And if they transfer equally, we should be got a good seat for a shot. If not, we'll have to make some fine tuning adjustments, which is common. Alright, so now we take this off. So you're going to put a bounce spring on there to keep it from bottoming out. That puts pressure on it to hold it up. This is your ball driver, so you want to keep pressure holding this up in the ball driver so this side is not floating around. And these are the drive pins here that drives it. So that's how that all works. Over here we can see better. I'm going to cut this one right here and see what we get. It has an air chuck on it, so it moves it. As you let go of the valve, it clamps down up here on the table. To recenter, you just keep heading back and forth a few times. Does not want to cut. So this cutter does not want to cut at all. You don't like cutting that hard brass. Feels pretty sharp, but I didn't want to cut it, so maybe I'm bottomed out on something. It might be this pilot's up too high. Might be I'm bottomed on the valve guide. Looks like I can go down more. Definitely bottomed out. So my guess is this pilot's sticking up too high in the air and we're bottomed out. This pilot, even though it's the same size, is a little bit smaller than this one. The holes are slightly different too, but let's see where this one goes. Yeah, looks like we have the same problem. So this pilot is slightly smaller down, so it goes down another 1/4 inch more down. Which will give me enough room to cut. This one's going to be too tall to use over here, I bet. Okay. Get a nice pretty cut in there. So you see how that's a nice cut right there, a bunch of radiuses in there. Now I'm going to come in there with my top cutter, which is this one. come in there with that and cut away the top of the head up here above the top of the seat, right in here. So I got to set this angle or the diameter. Pull that back. Valve jobs are all about precision. Back this up out of the way. So I can go up here and set the diameter up here off of this. So on this one here, this is my custom cutter that Son had made for me. It's got my name on it and everything. So this has like a parabolic curve out here. So I got to set the pointer right here on a certain point on the tip to be where it needs to be to work with the diameter the valve is. Okay, so we got that set. Come back over here. Come in and cut it. Need a longer bounce spring for these. So that's going to come there and cut the chamber out a little bit. Usually I go ahead and mark the top of the seat so I kind of know where I'm at. I think this pin doesn't work anymore. So you pay a lot of good money for American made stuff and it doesn't work. Trash. You get some cheap ass ones like this and they work better. Yeah, there, that one left a mark. You can actually see that one. Okay, there's a certain mark I want to see. And if you go too deep, it screws up. A lot of metal out. There's the mark I want to see. Had to cut enough off to see what I wanted. Yep, there's the mark I wanted to see. Pull our pilot out. Suck the chips out. Alright, so now I'm going to take our lapping compound and mark it up a little bit. Okay, this is for the rear head, we're on the rear, so this is our rear exhaust. So go ahead and put a little bit of lapping compound on it over here. We're just using regular lapping compound. Gotta mix up some fresh stuff here in the oil. If you don't keep it oiled up, it doesn't lap very well. It becomes way chunky and doesn't want to cut. So you can mix it up a little bit. Wipe off the excess. And you put that on the valve. Doesn't need much, just a little bit. This is pretty heavy on the oil part, not the lapping compound, but it'll still do what we need. Okay, drop that into the head over here. Go around, flip, drop down. View, pick up, turn, drop. Do that back and forth a little bit. Okay, then you see what kind of mark you got. So, see how the mark is? And this rag is really oily. Okay, so see the shiny mark right here on the outside edge? That's where the valve is not hitting. The gray mark is where it is, so you got a little bit of an edge out here, which is what you want to see. So as this pounds in, it'll wear that down. And you want to see a pretty even mark all the way around. This one's pretty even. Looks like I got on the first shot. So then you go over the seat over here. Wipe this out. Right now you got the lapping compound on there. So wipe that all out. And you want to see that nice gray mark going all the way around, preferably evenly. You can see the red just above. And you can see my little hair tail line right there. That was my other cutter coming down. That was this one here. There's a little bit of flat right here in the tip. Then it goes into its parabolic curve. And that's what you're seeing right here. And the aluminum actually cut right up to here where my finger is. So it's got a nice radius curve in there. It's a parabolic curve. So it comes out of the seat nice and smooth around, rolls around the seat, rolls up here, and rolls up, comes out. Now this head is all sunk in here, so to get these lips out of here, you have to come in with a die grinder and knock these out. So I'll probably come back and do that, because that lip kills your flow. So we'll come back and do that. Alright, so that's how you do that one. That's a minimum cut, no extra. I'm not going to sink it any more than I need. So we're just these valves are sunk in pretty deep already, so we're just doing just enough to do a valve job. So you can see how this head here, it looks like this. This is more or less just a straight angle. And this one over here, it's hard to see the curve, but there's actually a curve in there where it kind of goes like this. So it makes the air flow up a little better. And so when I cut this lip off, it'll allow the air to go right to the chamber and breathe a lot better. Basically, you're getting a port job every time you do a valve job. It's the most important thing of a port job is your valves. The further you get away from the valve seat, the less important your port job is. Okay, so that one's done. I'm going to go ahead and do this one. Now this probably is going to be a little bit long, so I'm going to pull this one out. See, this one's just a little bit too long, or the size is a little bit too big. What did I do with the other pilot? I put it someplace. Fell off the rug up there. So this is our smaller one. Wipe it off, make sure it's clean. Stuff it in the hole. Okay, now put your level on there. So it's a little bit off on the level. So see how the level's off a little bit that way, but this way here it is level. That rotated the head this way. So to get the valve straight, you got to have it level in two planes. So we're going to hit the table right here to bring the level in. Okay, so now the level is level on both planes. So now it's straight. And the machine's level too, so we know it's good. If your machine wasn't level, you couldn't use that level to do the other leveling. And I check it every now and then. It hasn't really moved much over all the years, but every few years you give it a fine-tune adjustment, but it's pretty consistent. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and cut this seat over here. So get a little bit closer this time, maybe you can see better. See me better now. Yeah, I don't think a dropping is going to help you any. Do a close-up. Alright, now you can kind of see what's going on. I'll go ahead and put this felt tip marker on here so you can kind of see where things are at. So you can see what's cutting and not cutting. That's for you, not me. So there's the before and after of the cutters. First cut. Cut it in. You think it cuts all the way around, you can stop. Looks like it cut all the way around to me. Okay, so I'm going to mark the top of the seat so I can see where my next cutter is going to hit. So this is going to cut that away right there. Dug in pretty heavy. Look at a big lip there. Cutting away a big high spot. And there's a little mark I wanted to see. My mark is on the top of the angle, so it flows over it. The other mark was above the angle, so it hit into it. Alright, so when you get the thing out of the way, you can see my angle a lot easier. But when you're in there first, you don't notice as much. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Pull that out. Yep, drop my ring. Okay, get another valve. Get some more lapping compounds. That's how much we use. See how little that is? That's actually more than I need. Just put a little bit on the edge. That's enough. You just got a smear coat on, is all you need. Put the rest back in the container. Alright, that topping I was talking about, see a bright edge right there? That's when my cutter started digging in. The other lip was up here, I kept going down until this one came in. It was hard to see it at the angle I was looking at it. So now we got our seats in there. So now we go ahead and do the lap. Right there. And we'll see what this one does for a finish. Just like the last one, I'm happy. If it's different, then I won't be happy. So you do the same thing, you go back and forth with it. Let's just drop it. Go up and drop. That way the valve doesn't sit in one area. Allows you to get a more even idea where you're at. Okay, so there's that angle, that one there. So you can see how you get that sharp edge right there again. It doesn't look like that's in focus. There we go. So anyway, nice and smooth and even, that's what you want to see. And you want to see the same thing over here again. Assuming everything is right. So this one here, it's hard to see the edge. Yep, back it up. Didn't have enough lapping compound on there to leave a decent finish all the way around. You can see the mark right there, it's pretty faint. So this one's either slightly off or I didn't have enough lapping compound on it. So I had oil on it, not the actual grit, which is possible. So we'll try it one more time just to make sure. Get a little more grit on it this time instead of the oil. Shouldn't have to do it twice either. That's never a good sign when you gotta redo stuff. Sounds pretty even, but we'll see. Okay, the valve looks good. A little bit more of an edge now I can see. It's not so faint this time. You get the mark there above my finger now. Just the brass, it's hard to see the lapping marks on them. It's in there. Okay, so that one's done. So that's our exhaust. So now we're going to move on to the intake. Going to do the same thing. Get this out of my way. It's way back here now. Trade off between see what I'm doing and let me work. Tripod's getting away my airline. Okay. So the two exhaust valves are done. Put them away. We got our two intake valves here to deal with. Okay, just got to come out. Rotate it around. See if the same pilots fit again. Ooh, they go in a lot deeper this one because the intakes are a lot bigger. We're right at the limit on this one. Get the next size up. Yeah. We'll see if that works. I'm thinking we're too high. I'll put this one over here. This one over here. That looks a lot more even. Those go down to 2. Alright, I don't like that. That's better. This one's too small. Okay, now I gotta center everything up again. Do it that way. Ooh, that's way off. Now we get to loosen these all up. Reposition head. Well, that's not a good sign. I can't move the head enough to make it square. That's not good. That means that intake guide's way off center in there. So far off I can't even center the damn thing. That's bad. That's probably that 10 over guide. Can't even get the adjustment I need. Alright, that's going to be a little bit harder to deal with. But we can compensate. over here, see how bad it is. This one's a lot closer. This one only needs a light adjustment. I need to hit on, so I have to loosen it all the way up. Somebody wants me. Hello. Yes. Yes. Okay, we're back. Yeah, this thing was so far out of whack I had to actually loosen the table up and move it a bunch. This guy's way, way off where it should be. Which doesn't surprise me when you get to be a 10-over guy and things are usually not where they're supposed to be. Okay, this one looks good. Okay, we'll go ahead and cut this one here, and this one here we're going to have to do a lot of adjusting for. Okay. Let's see where we're at here. Come out a little further. Thought I would have to. Okay, I'm going to go up here and set our cutter again. This time we're going to use a different cutter. Same way though, take the valve. This is now a bigger valve, so things are going to move a little bit. Okay. Let's see here, which one are we going to use? We're going to go with this one, I think. Okay, this is a 40 thousandths wide seat, so it's got a 40, 45 in around here. Now we could use a 60 thousandths seat if we wanted to, but I like the performance of the bigger seat. Now this has a different shape to it here. That can be changed with a different cutter. This is the VC8 style, still the other one we had. So we have different ones we can use. To set the diameter for what we need over here. So that's way up here. Figure out where the top angle is at. It's hard to tell on this cutter. I think that's the right spot. You never tell until you actually make a cut. Then you know. Okay, this one you can't see very much on because it's buried up here in the hole. You look down the outside over here. It's really hard to get any kind of an idea what we're doing over here. That's basically the same thing. cutting, but I can't see what I'm cutting, so. We're cutting the inside of the throat out quite a bit because we're putting a bigger valve on it. So it's opening up quite a bit. So right now we're cutting way down in here instead of up here in the seat. I'm cutting here, angling this out quite a bit. So I'm going to put a mark on it so I can see when I get to the top surface. Okay, rough that in a little bit. All right. So you can see how that kind of come in over here. And it's not cleaned on this side, but it is cleaned on this side over here. So I'm going to put the valve on there to give it a quick lap and get an idea about where I'm at on my dimension. I'm not even sure if I'm even cut all the way around on that. I don't think I did cut all the way around yet. Go a little bit deeper. I got to cut this top edge away here because it causes the cutter to go side to side. It's got a lip on there. I want to get rid of that. So that's going to be down my top cutter over there. So I'm going to set that up too. All right. So these are bigger one over here. So it's the same cutter, but it's on a bigger holder 'cause we're cutting a bigger diameter. Hopefully I'll be able to do it on this. It's pretty close to being not enough. Nope, it does move in. Perfect. So we'll have enough room to do it. Alright, so now I got this one cut. Setter. This cutter set. I'll get that all out. Okay, now we go back over here and we're going to try to do a top cut with this. A longer spring. Ah, that's pretty heavy stenching. Oh. That's, I got a little bit lighter spring I can use. Much better. Put a mark on there so I can see. Alright, that cut a bunch of the metal away that was on top of the seat. So now I can come back with the other cutter. Cut it down without having a just side pushing this cutter. When you push the cutter sideways, it makes the seat unconcentric. That's not good. Okay. Come back with the other cutter a little bit. All right. Let's see, where's the intake valve? Let's see, we're on the rear. We're on the front head, front valve. Oop. Too much goo. Too much oil, not enough grit. You gotta put more on there. Okay. So there's your, before we lap it. So there's the angle coming in now. So this has all been, it's actually cutting way up to here now, the cutter. Maybe I'll get more light, less light on it. So now you're getting a full radius tapered. It bored out the center of the seat quite a bit. Made a nice long angle on it. Got the seat right on top, which you got lap yet. Then it goes across the top. Then it runs into the top angle, which is this big parabolic curve. So it gets a nice flowed finish. So I can go ahead and lap it, see where we're at. Because we're not sure what the diameter is, but that's where we're at right now. And I just drop it in the hole. So now we get to go ahead and do a lap job on it. And then come back and look at it. See how close I am. Yeah, looks like we're off quite a bit. Oh yeah. See, I'm way here on the inside. Not even close to where it needed to be. That's called way the hell off. I'm not sure why it's off so far. Obviously I did something wrong. And we're definitely seated way on the inside of that cutter. Okay, so now I gotta make an adjustment on my cutter. Okay, how far off am I? I am off a lot. It's causing the other cutter to be off a little bit too, I bet. So I gotta see what the problem is. Nope. One thing is the camera's in my way. Okay, I'm gonna go back and just start from ground zero and see where my air is at. I did something wrong. My purpose was a little bit conservative over here, and I think that's some of what I did wrong. It didn't look like it was that far off though. Yeah. I don't think it was off that much on that one. There's only 5 degrees difference between the cutting angle and the seat angle on this cutter, so it's pretty hard to see that transitional point. So I'm assuming I screwed up on that part. It doesn't look like it's that far off, but I made an adjustment. Usually I go to the other port and cut it, and then I come back to this one because I don't want to go back and forth on the same seat. So we're going to go ahead and go over here and play with this a little bit. And that's going to be a little more tricky on this. There's some big differences on angles. So the first thing I do is get this angle here set right. We're not even close to the same angle. There. Okay, now what can I do to cheat to get more angle? Now if I put a shim under here, I can probably cheat. Now this machine over here is made to tilt up in here. So you can set this for 0 and go up here and adjust this for 0 and it will cut it on center. I'd rather put a shim over here than screw in with my head machine up there. So if I take this and unadjust this a little bit, let's see if I can put a shim under here. Seems so far off, even a shim's not really helping me too much. Try like a 10 thou shim though. Here's a 10 thou shim. Okay. Actually bending the head a little bit. But I'm able to get what I want. Okay. We're centered. So I was able to get what I needed. Not the best way of doing it, but it worked. Okay, and come back and do this again. Okay, same thing. I don't think you can really see what I'm doing over here at all. I cheat with my camera stand. Made it way over. There, tilt in a little bit. Put it all the way up. Trying to get where you can see what I'm doing over here. Pretty hard to see in there. Bottomed out again. So this pilot's too tall. Now we gotta swap this out. Drop back to the small one I got rid of earlier. Okay. See if anything changed. Look good. Okay, so we're definitely making a big ass cut. We're coming off the edge of the bronze over here. It's even worse than it was. So it was way thick on this side, one way thin over here, and you can see how much metal I'm cutting out of right here. I'm barely cutting right here, but I'm cutting a ton out over on this side. So this is basically laid over like this. So I got to keep going down. That's all you can do. Needs to be basically needs to have the guide hole recut bigger, put a different, rebore the hole, put a seat in it. There's all kinds of stuff that should have been done, but the customer didn't want to do all that extra work, so we're just going to try to make it the best I can with what I got to work with. Okay, remark that a little bit. I'll do my top angle here next. Okay. Cut down until I get to the aluminum. This one I might actually have to run a smaller diameter valve because of the seat's so far off center. Bottomed out again, so I'm bottomed out on something else. I must be bottomed out on the valve guide. So we have to use a different spring. We can't have this cutter here and there, or I mean the bushing. We'll have to just go to a spring, just a raw spring like this. That'll give me a little bit more to go. And if that's not enough, I'll have to shorten the valve guide. Go. Another phone interruption. Hello. Yeah. Shoot. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What year is it? hard to tell if you don't know where all the corrosion's coming from. Yeah. I look down the spark plug holes to make sure there's no rust in the valve in the spark plug as best you can. And then look in the oil tank and see if there's rust up on top of that. And that's about all you do, just see what you can see. You don't know how much corrosion's on the bike, so whatever's on the outside you probably got on the inside. So you just gotta play it by ear and see what's in there. Yeah, well, you can try that and see what happens, obviously. But yeah, I can ship it to you. How long has the bike been since it ran last? Yeah, but how long did it sit before they got it to the dealership? Blowing your ass out. Is there any oil in the spark plugs? Or they probably put all new plugs in it and everything, so you don't know what condition it is? Are the old spark plugs still in the motor, or did they put new plugs in it? Okay, is there any oil on the spark plug tips? Yeah. I'd pull a plug, look at it, do a quick compression test, and then see the condition of what the inside of the motor looks like. If it's got brand new plugs on it, you don't know what's wrong with the motor. The rings might have to be rebroken in, so instead of put the Tribodyne oil in it right from the get-go, you might put some break-in oil in there for 200-300 miles to re-break in the rings, and then put the Tribodyne in it. Otherwise, the rings might never seal if they're unsealed right now. Right, and the break-in oil will do that. The Tribodyne will just protect what you got, and if it's glazed up, or rusted up, it'll protect the rust and not let it reseat. So you can't have it in a motor that's be broken in. But yeah, I can ship it to you, no problem, whatever you need. Okay. I would get that driven break-in oil I use. That's what his job is to break the oil in. That's what I would do with it. Yeah, it won't be a bike shop. You have to go to a hot rod shop. It's automotive. But just order from, you just order up and ship it to you. The jugs or, everybody sells that stuff. But if you want to try a hot rod shop, you can try a hot rod shop. They might have it. Yeah. Yeah, try in there. They might have it there. All right. Yeah, no problem. Okay, bye. All right. Tech call. So you got a bike that's been sitting for who knows how long, driven by an old man back east, full of humidity and other stuff, and we don't know the condition of it. So yeah, that's always a good way of buying a bike. Okay, this is on the valve head at least. Gonna go a little bit deeper to get it to clean in, but it looks like we're right on the edge of the brass insert here. And go back and cut it again. Hopefully it'll recenter itself up. See what we get. Okay. Okay, we spotted that. Hopefully that'll make it a little bit more truer. So I'm going to take the same valve that we had the seat way on the inside here. I'm going to move it. I'm going to try to lap it again. We'll see if it moves out to the outside a little bit further and cleans up a little better. So this is a pretty bad condition of a valve seat over here, so just got to kind of play around with these things a little bit until they do what you want to do with them. And it's definitely way on the inside of the valve face. That part's not changing. It's too hard to see in this angle what's going really happening, but alright, I'm going to get this all cleaned up, take a look at it, we can see a little bit better, and I'll come back.